Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul. Welcome to the next installment of our series on the conservation of this Superman number 9 for our friend Noah. Today we're going to start the dry cleaning before we remove the staples and take this book apart so that we can wet clean all of the individual pages or wraps of the book, including obviously the cover. So I'm going to start like I normally do with some cotton rounds, and I'm just going to start with gentle circles. I check the surface frequently because the cotton rounds can take up inks, and I don't want to remove a lot of ink. Also, if I do happen to pick up a lot of dirt off the cover, I want to know it, and I don't want to be smearing it around. You'll notice I'm just using my Staedtler Mars plastic eraser here, cut to a point, or at least at an angle. In these Golden Age books, you can erase right over the ink, like the yellow here, which you can't do on more modern books, but it does take off a little bit of ink. And when you get buildup on your eraser, you need to clear the eraser. I just do it right here on my craft board. And you see there's a little bit of yellow on there. So I don't like to do that a lot. I like to stick to the whites, and I'll use the water bath to clean most of the stuff that has color on it. but I'm not afraid to go over the inks lightly, especially adjacent to the white where I'm cleaning. And I'll sometimes test it out on especially soiled areas that have ink. Now, we know that this is a stain. It goes through the book from our assessment. We know that this goes through several pages. So I'm not even going to try to clean this because I know it's in the paper. So dry cleaning really hasn't yielded a lot of cleaning, frankly. Not a really shock that it didn't. But what that means is it's time to basically disassemble the book and get our pages all separated so that we can start wet cleaning them. So I'm gonna move my ring light, my workspace a little bit so that I can do that, and we'll be right back. All right, we've got the book open to the center fold, and I've got a piece of tape labeled Superman 9, the T here for top. I'm going to remove these staples and I'm going to put them there. I don't think this is entirely necessary because these are replacement staples, and I think I could probably just pull that out with my fingers, but I'm going to use the same tools that you've seen me use before. This is the Capable Staple Tool from Immaculate Comics, Rick Morgan. I'm going to use this to stabilize. It's got a little groove here, and I'm going to catch that arm of the staple in, and then I'm going to use his Flawless Staple Tool. Just pop that up. And then I'm going to use this block of Delrin that I've machined, that you've seen me use before too, to stabilize afterward. And I just like it because it has a much bigger footprint. It's much easier to stabilize all the paper with this than it is with the Capable Staple Tool. All right, there's one. We'll do the same thing down here on this one. And as we talked about in our walkthrough, we'll see whether we decide to use these staples. These are obvious replacements. They're not original to the book. Whether or not we decide to reuse them, maybe we'll rework them a little bit. Maybe we will just throw them out and make our own. Maybe we'll find vintage replacements. But we'll do that when we're all done with the book. So for now, I'm just going to pull that top staple out. goes just like that. There's a little look at it. It actually already has some patina on it. So even though I think this is a replacement staple, it's been in there long enough, or it was maybe taken from something where it already has a little bit of rust. Maybe the rust was put on there on purpose to make it look more vintage. Really tough to say. But we've got the first one free. We'll put it here. And we'll retrieve the second staple. There's the bottom one. Doesn't look like any surface rust on this one. So I have them both on that piece of tape, and I will leave that securely here until we're ready to work on that again. All right, so now all these leaves should be free. Here, we have all the interior wraps. We have them separated now from the cover. I'll just give it a quick look and see if there are any surprises here. We knew that this was taped. But we also knew from our assessment that generally the paper was in pretty decent shape. And I think that we were correct in that assessment. So I'm going to set the interior aside for a little while so we can focus on this cover. Now with the interior removed, we can get a little better look at this. A little bit surprised that we have such a hard line right here. See that? Really deep crease when it's bent that way. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the page has been cut right there. Not sure why that would have been done. And there's evidence like this tear that goes across the whole spine, and the tear down here where you see material missing that goes across this crease. That makes it look like I don't think these pages were married. Maybe that's just a really tough crease that the plastic carrier of the tape took when they applied it. So I'm trying to burnish it flat with my fingernail, which seems actually to be working. Remember, I'm doing this on the tape. There's tape from here to here. Actually, maybe even from here to here. So I wouldn't scratch the 80-year-old paper like this with my fingernail. I'm doing this to the plastic carrier of the tape. All right. So what'll be next for this page is we're going to put this into our photography tray with a solvent. We're going to use a solvent that will soak right through the paper and will start to solubilize the adhesive that's used to hold the carrier onto the paper. And then our goal will be to gently lift the plastic carrier off everywhere where you see it and remove that. And then we'll dry the page, and then we'll have to come back with a solvent, either the same or a different solvent, that will solubilize the adhesive that'll be left behind. So when we do the full solvent bath, as you've seen me do before, it's going to be very brief, or as brief as possible, But we do have a lot of tape to remove, and we do need to go very slowly, and I think we have tape that was put on possibly in different decades. This tape is yellow underneath. This tape is yellow underneath. This tape is not. This is transparent. I think that's because this is old tape. This is newer tape. So we are going to be in the solvent bath for a little while. We're going to be working in the solvent bath on all of this tape, the whole thing. As I've said before, it's almost like the book was laminated in tape. There's so much tape. So we're going to save that for next episode. I want to thank everybody for checking out this episode 2. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough that we did in episode 1. If you're enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so that you see all of the new videos in this series as they come out. Also, if you're interested in giving any of these techniques a try, please go ahead and order the materials that you need through the affiliate links that I've put in the description below. Also, remember that we run a giveaway every single month, and the link for that is at the very bottom of the description for the video. Until next time, take care of one another.